Uh, so please continue.
Okay, ma'am.
Please start from the beginning.
Yeah, yeah. Uh, I will cover the points regarding government schemes to promote agribusiness. Uh, I will start from this COVID-19 pandemic. We have seen that first quarter how our GDP was, but the golden point or the good thing was that agriculture. Agriculture was one sector which we saw growth in that quarter. So we can understand the prospects and also opportunities and also the support it will provide to the GDP or to nation by this agri business is of immense potential and immense importance. Therefore, the government of India, they have started many schemes to support the agri business. So first of all, we will start from the priority sector guidelines. Reserve Bank of India, they have changed recently on 4th September. They have issued a new priority sector guidelines in which agri-business startups up to 50 crores rupees loan provided by banks is considered now priority sector up to 50 crores rupees. Then there are many schemes I will cover one by one by government of India, which we use it in agri-business. Since most of here are scientists, students and others, I will start with one special scheme of government of India, which is called Agri Clinic Agri Business Center, ACA-BC schemes, which was started, I think, more than 12, 13 years back. And every year, this is the only scheme which is continuing since then. What is this Agri Clinic Agri Business Center scheme? This is a scheme for those agriculture graduate or those who have agriculture subject or certain subjects in intermediate or 10 plus 2 or graduation. They can take the benefit of this scheme. First of all, objective was to supplement the effort of public extension by providing extension services in the rural areas by setting up agri clinics, agri business, so as the farmers or the sharecroppers, they could get the latest technology and best brain in their area. And this best brain, they will start their agri business, they will earn for themselves, and they will serve the nation by providing the technology and other know-how to the person who are in the field, means farmers and other people. Now, first of all, who are the people? Eligibility criteria. What are the eligibility criteria? Who can get this scheme? First of all, is graduates in agriculture and allied. Any graduate in agriculture and allied, they are automatically eligible for this scheme. Then those who have diploma with at least 50% marks or postgraduate diploma holder in agriculture and allied subject, they are also eligible. Biological science graduates with post graduation in agriculture and allied subject, they are also eligible. Degree courses recognized by UGC having more than 60% of the courses contained in agriculture and allied subjects, they are also eligible. Diploma, postgraduate diploma courses with more than 60% of courses contained in agriculture and allied subjects after BSc with biological sciences from recognized college and university, they are also eligible. Agriculture related courses at intermediate, means plus 2 level with at least 55% marks, they are also eligible. So this is the eligibility criteria. And what are they can do? They can open agri clinics, they can start agri business centers, and there is the indicative list. There is one website, agriclinics.net. Most of you people may have been knowing. Go on that website. This year's scheme again, it has started. Government of India has again launched this scheme this year also. One thing, every year we have to see that whether this scheme has been launched by government of India, because all government of India schemes, they are normally launched in April, May or June month, and it is up to 31st March of that financial year. And every year they have to launch the scheme again. If it is not launched, if you are not seeing the document that it is written that this year this scheme has been launched, that scheme is not running by government of India. This year this scheme has been again launched by government of India. There is indicative list what we can cover under this agriculture agri clinic agri business center scheme. Extension consultancy services related with agriculture, rural development, agri allied, it is covered. Soil and water quality cum input testing laboratory, that is also covered. Crop protection services including pest surveillance, diagnostic and control services, it is covered. Micro propagation including plant tissue culture, labs and hardening units, it is covered. Production, maintenance and custom hiring of agriculture implements and machinery including micro irrigation system, it is covered. Seed production and processing units, it is covered. Vermiculture unit covered. Production of biofertilizer, biopesticide and other biocontrol agents, it is covered under this scheme. Apiaries, beekeeping, honey and bee products, processing units, is bee products, it is also covered. Agriculture insurance services, it is also covered. Agriculture tourism covered. Agriculture journalism, film production, farm publication and exhibition, it is covered. Poultry and fishery hatcheries, it is covered. Livestock health cover, veterinary dispensary services including frozen semen banks, liquid nitrogen supply, artificial insemination, it is all covered. Information technology kiosk in rural and related with rural area and agriculture is covered. Feed production, marketing, testing units covered. Value addition centers in rural areas pertaining to agriculture, allied and other sectors is covered in rural areas. Cool chain including cold storage units, it's covered. Post harvest management, centers for sorting, grading, standardization, storage and packaging, it is covered. Metallic and non-metallic storage structures, it is covered. Horticulture clinic, nursery, landscaping, floriculture covered. Sericulture, it is covered. Vegetable production and marketing, retail marketing outlets for processed agri products, production and marketing of farm inputs and outputs, all these things are covered. Contract farming, it is covered. Crop production and demonstration, mushroom production, processing and marketing of medicinal and aromatic plants, it is covered. Production units like dairy, poultry, piggery, fisheries, sheep rearing, goat rearing, emu rearing, rabbit rearing, etc., all are covered. This is only indicative list, it is not exhaustive list. In simple nutshell, we can say any scheme, if an agriculture graduate or who are qualifying for this scheme, if they have any innovative agri-business proposal or they have anything which they consider for the area it is innovative or new or have a certain technology advantage which they can provide to the rural area, they can start their agri-business. And what is the project cost is 20 lakh. Up to 20 lakh they can get bank loan, and if they are getting bank loan under this scheme up to 20 lakh, if they are from general category, general OBC, then they will get 36% of subsidy, government subsidy. They will get government of India subsidy 36%, and if they are SC, ST and women, then they will get 44%. This is one of the subsidy scheme which have high subsidy content in it. This and another part of this scheme is that if you are let us say that you are starting your agri business, you talk to bank, you give the proposal, and bank and you decided that in first we will start with 5 lakh rupees of this agri business, then you can take loan 5 lakh, your subsidy will be sanctioned and given, and after 6 months you come to know that my venture is successful and I can expand this scheme, this project, then you can talk to your banker. This is the only scheme where twice you can this is the only scheme where you can get twice the project. Means first your limit is 20 lakh rupees. If you are using only 5 lakh rupees loan you have taken and got the subsidy, then again fresh proposal you can give for remaining 15 lakh. And if your 5 lakh project is very successful, then the bank manager has a power to increase the project cost from 20 lakh to 25 lakh. That is the exception case. If your first project is very successful, then the bank manager has power that he can increase the loan from 20 to 25 lakh. Then your eligibility will be 25 lakh minus loan already you have availed. And if you have availed 5 lakh rupees, it will be 20 lakh. If you have availed 10 lakh, then it is 15 lakh. Then again the proposal will be submitted and it will be sent to NABARD for Government of India subsidy, and you will get second time. Means twice you can avail the subsidy, but loan limit will be followed. Adding both, it should not be over more than 20 lakh. It is a normal unit. If it is a very successful unit, then it should not be over than 25 lakh. Another part of the project is if there are few friends who want to form a company, then 4 to 5 friends can form company and they can avail this project. But rule is that when there are 4 agriculture graduate, there one should be MBA. One person should be MBA graduate. Out of 5, 4 agriculture, one MBA, and they can form company, and the eligibility of the company will be 1 crore rupees of the project. 1 crore rupees project agribusiness they can get, and of which 36% if the member are from general and OBC community, then they will get 36% subsidy, 36 lakh up to 36 lakh rupees. If out of 5 members, 3 are SC or ST, means majority of members are SC ST in that company, then their eligibility will be as per the criteria, 44% or 44 lakh maximum. Then when we are knowing about this scheme, there is one thing regarding this scheme. Government of India has also before sanctioning this scheme and getting the subsidy, there is one condition that all the trainees, all the beneficiaries, all the agri-business incubators, or all the participants, they have to get a training, 2-month training from the government approved agencies. You can get the list on agriclink.net. Just like our agriculture university, which is partnering in this today's program, Rajmata Vijay Raja Scindia Krishi Vishwavidyalaya, they are also one of the agency identified by Government of India who can impart training. The training will be imparted free of cost for 2 months. This is on agriculture extension and agri clinic and agri vision, how to run it. And this, after getting this 2-month free of cost training, everything, all expenditure will be borne by Government of India. Then you can apply to your bank for the loan. This is the prerequisite condition for applying for agri clinic, agri business center project. Linkage with credit, you can get loan from commercial bank, regional rural bank, state cooperative bank, state cooperative agricultural development bank, or any other institution which is approved by, refinanced by NABARD. They can, from there you can get the loan. Project cost ceiling I have covered. Company portion also I have covered, and only component is that when you are starting an agri business, getting the subsidy scheme from this project, then what you have to do, you have to in the locality, in the area where you are starting this business, one of the work is to you have to volunteer, and every week at least one program you have to conduct for getting 15-20 farmers and sensitize them regarding the latest technologies, so that they could get, because Government of India main aim of this scheme is to motivate the agriculture graduates and other technical people who are eligible there to start their agri business, so that not only they could earn, they could start a convert it into a big enterprise, but also provide technology to the farmers in the rural areas, in the allied sectors and other sectors. And they when the farmers will see that one agri business has been set up, new business has been set up, new activity has started, technologies are being adopted, and then when they will be sensitized regarding this technology, or they may not follow the same technology, but they will be motivated by adopting other technologies which are present in their agriculture allied sector, or any things which they want, because already there are Krishi Vigyan Kendra who have very good technologies, lab to land technologies. They can be imparted and could be provided to the farmers, because we always tell seeing is believing. Because when a farmer or a group of farmers will see that agri business is being done and it is a very successful venture, they will also try to adopt and accommodate the new technologies in other field, and that will be very helpful. This is the aim of this agri business center scheme of Government of India. In this project, term loan, there will do component term loan and working capital, that is to be decided by preparing the DPR, how the DPR will be prepared, and with the bank you have to finalize everything, and after that it will be sanctioned by the bank accordingly. Composite subsidy, composite subsidy is also eligible, means a part of term loan, a part of working capital, both subsidy is eligible. And only rule is that total financial outlay of the project 10% should be at least in capital form. That is the rule. Repayment schedule will be according to the banks and the beneficiary, because they have to agree on the repayment period is 5 years to 10 years. You can't have less than 5 years, and 10 years is the maximum period. 5 to 10 years as per the business which you are going to take up, agri business, and talking with the bank and finalizing the terms, you can get from 5 to 10 years tenure. Also, there will be grace period, because when you are starting certain projects, there is guidelines regarding certain projects when earnings will start. Then on depending on that, there will be grace period for repayment. Means if it is 6 months or 2 years, maximum 2 years, grace period is allowed under this project. And regarding rate of interest, it will be as per time to time, whatever Reserve Bank of India guidelines is there, it will be applied on this project also. Margin money. Margin money rule is that up to rupees 5 lakh, there is no margin money required. If your total financial outlay of the project is 5 lakh rupees, you do not require any margin money. But beyond that, the margin money should be as per Reserve Bank of India guidelines. Time limit of completion of project. Any project you will sanction and get sanctioned under this project is to be completed within 6 months of first disbursement of loan from the bank. If the project is not completed within the stipulated period, benefit of subsidy shall not be availed, and advance subsidy placed with the participating bank, if any, have to be refunded to NABARD. At that time, land has to be followed seriously. Then subsidy limit, I have already told 36% and 44%. Then adjustment of subsidy. Any Government of India scheme which is through NABARD or through banks, it is always back-ended subsidy. What is back-ended subsidy? You are your project cost is 10 lakh rupees or say 12 lakh rupees, and a bank loan is 10 lakh rupees. Now, as per 36% rule, you are getting around 4 lakh rupees of subsidy. 4 lakh subsidy, when the bank will receive, they will form a subsidy reserve fund, and they will place that fund in that subsidy reserve fund. And on 4 lakh rupees out of 10 lakh rupees loan, the date from which the bank has received your subsidy, from that date, the 4 lakh rupees of loan, there will be no interest charged. After that, after 5 years, your loan repayment is around 6 lakh. Then remaining 4 lakh will be cleared with the subsidy which have already you got and which is in the subsidy reserve fund. This is called back-ended subsidy. And first clear the remaining loan, and then you can clear this subsidy into your loan account. There are rules are that before 5 years you can't close the loan account. At least 5 years you have to run the loan account. Then you are eligible for the back-ended subsidy to be merged with your loan account. Means if your loan is of 8 years, but after 5 years, if you want to close the account, if you have earned so much income, then after 5 years you can repay the remaining difference, and the remaining subsidy may be merged with that. But for 5 years you can't close the account. Second is NPA. If in Government of India schemes, any project, if it becomes NPA, then subsidy, there is rule, the subsidy will be recalled. And there are certain cases when due to NPA, subsidy has been recalled. That is to be taken care, because there are rules, there are regulations. Even if you are starting a agri business unit, if you are facing certain problems, you can talk to your banks, and as per whatever the necessity is there, you can change your terms accordingly, so that there is no problem regarding turning it into NPA. Then procedure of project, you have to prepare project. Then after preparing the project, you have to submit the project to the bank. Bank, after sanctioning the project, they will send it to NABARD. You do not have to bother regarding getting subsidy, because it is the duty of bank to get subsidy on your behalf from NABARD. Your only job is to contact with the bank, fulfill their criteria, whatever the RBI guideline is there, fulfill the criteria, get the loan sanctioned under the project, and after that, it is the duty of bank to get the subsidy claim from NABARD. And this method, you will not have to be get harassed in running here and there for the subsidy, because it will be the work of bank, to duty of the bank to get the subsidy from NABARD. Many schemes which are running through banks from NABARD, we are following this process and successfully releasing the subsidy without the customer or the agri business or the person being in a problem in running to NABARD for getting the subsidy. Means you have only to deal with the bank, and when you are dealing with the bank, you have got your loan, then subsidy you will get automatically from NABARD, because the bank will claim, and whatever paper NABARD will require, they will provide us, and we will sanction and send the subsidy, Government of India subsidy for the project. This is the one scheme of AgriClinic Agri Business that I started. I will now cover the other schemes. This is one of the main scheme for agri business, and more than 12-13 years it is still, every year it is being renewed, it is being again and again sanctioned. There is a good amount of subsidy in that scheme, and we think that if good agri business is promoted by using this scheme, it will be very good. Now we are going for the second project. Second project recently launched by Government of India. That is Agriculture Infrastructure Fund. Agriculture Infrastructure Fund, during this COVID Atmanirbhar Bharat package, 1 lakh crore project was sanctioned by Government of India to promote agri business in certain field, and this is Agriculture Infrastructure Fund with 1 lakh crore. With 1 lakh crore total outlay. This is sanctioning period is 4 years. This year 10,000 crore, next year 30,000 crore, next year 30 means remaining 3 years 30,000 crore. Total 1 lakh crore. And 7 year, this project will be of 7 years, and total 1 lakh crore will be sanctioned the project, bank loan. And Government of India is providing two facility. It is just like a top-up project. Two facility they are providing. First is interest subvention up to 2 crore rupees. Interest subvention of 3% is being provided, and you can have agri business project above 3 crore rupees, but 2 crore rupees, but the subvention portion will be on 2 crore rupees only. Remaining you have to cover. Then second portion is credit guarantee, because nowadays there is a chance that you have very good proposal, very good idea, bank wants to sanction, but again due to mortgage and other problems, the bank are not able to sanction. To solve this problem, credit guarantee scheme has been launched with this scheme. Up to 2 crore rupees project for agri business activities. I will be telling you which are the activities to be covered. You will get credit guarantee. Bank will sanction loan. No mortgage is required. If it is an individual agripreneur farmer, then it will be covered under CG TMSC credit guarantee scheme. And if it is farmers producer organizations FPOs, then it will be covered under the scheme of credit guarantee of FPOs under NABARD. So this is the two benefits. What are the activities? It is farm gate infrastructure, post harvest primary processing infrastructures. In this, what are the activities? Supply chain services, including e-market platform, it is covered. Warehouses, silos, pack houses, assaying units, sorting and grading units, cold chains, logistic facilities, primary processing centers, ripening chambers, organic input production, biostimulant production units, infra for smart and precision agriculture, supply chain infrastructure for clusters, PPP projects. These are the main activities which can be covered. Similar other, this is only indicative list. If there are other primary processing, there not should be secondary tertiary, means it should be only primary processing, farm gate type of infrastructure, where you are collecting the farmers produce, then grading, assaying, sorting type of things you can do, and certain primary processing thing you can also do with it. But other things it is not covering. It is only for primary processing, so that agri business should be through agri business infrastructure, agriculture infrastructure will be built in the rural areas at farm gate, and that will benefit all over India. This is the second scheme, agriculture infrastructure fund. I have earlier told that this scheme is top up. Top up means you can always add other subsidy schemes. If government of India has other, yeah, any state government has other subsidy schemes, you can get the benefit beside this scheme. Under this scheme, you can add that scheme also, and subsidy portion you can get. Only rule is that if it is 1 crore project, for example, at least 10% should be beneficiary contribution. Means if it is 1 crore project, you are eligible for 25% subsidy, then 10 lakh rupees you have to contribute. 90 lakh out of 90 lakh, 25 lakh you are getting from subsidy. 65 lakh means 35 lakh will be considered as margin money, but 10% of 35 lakh, 10 lakh should be yours. Then remaining 65 lakh will be covered under the agriculture infrastructure project. Now, the main subsidy, government of India subsidy scheme, which is linked with this agriculture infrastructure fund, which agripreneur, agri-business starting person can use, is agriculture marketing infrastructure, ISAM, AMI, ISAM portion. This is regarding warehouse silos, and I will tell you regarding the activities which could be covered under this scheme. Agriculture marketing infrastructure scheme. In this scheme, up to 5,000 metric ton warehouse silos can be constructed. Total project cost up to 3 crore is eligible, in which warehouse and silos up to 1.5 crore can be covered. Other prices, other primary processing unit, it could also be covered under this scheme. Activities which could be covered, I am naming under this scheme, which you can take benefit. First is warehouse, 5,000 metric ton. Then if you have primary processing unit, then as a part of that project, up to 1,000 metric ton cold storage you can also cover under this, but stand-alone cold storage projects is not covered under this scheme. Then there are whole list of the projects which can be covered. I am naming the list. What are the activities it can be covered? Primary processing means if it is fruits and vegetables, you can cover cleaning, sorting, grading, cutting. These are the activities you can cover under this scheme. Grains and seeds, primary active processing which you can cover under this scheme. Cleaning, sorting, grading, and splitting of pulses, it is covered under this scheme. Wall seeds and coconut, cleaning, sorting, grading and direct crushing of indigenous wild seeds and coconut to obtain raw vegetable edible oil without refining. Without refining, a small indigenous wild seeds, wild processing plant can be uh, uh, built under this scheme, but processing is not allowed. Refining is not allowed, as specified in FSSI Act and regulations thereof. Then regarding beverages, sorting, bleaching, and grading can be done. Covered. Milk, grading and refrigeration. Meat and poultry, sorting and refrigeration. Marine products, chilling and freezing. These are the primary processing which is eligible. Now secondary and tertiary processing which is not eligible. You should also know the negative list, no list. First of all, under fruits and vegetable, it is not allowed slices, pulps, secondary processing of slices, pulps, soups, flakes, powder, paste, preserved and flavored. It is not covered. Tertiary processing, ketchup, jam juices, pickles, preserves, candies, chips. It is also not covered under this scheme. Regarding grains and seeds, flour, broken rice, puff, malt and milling, flour milling, dal milling, it is not covered. Tertiary processing, biscuits, noodles, flakes, cakes, namkeen, it is not covered. Wild seeds and coconut, wild cakes, refined edible oils, not covered. Beverages, leaf dust and powder, not covered. Tea bags, flavored coffee, soft drinks, alcoholic beverages, not covered under this scheme. Milk, only grading, refrigerating is covered. Cottage cheese, cream, simmered and dried milk is not covered. Processed milk, spreadable fats, butter and cheese, ghee, yogurt, not covered. Then meat and poultry, cut, fried, frozen and chilled, not covered. Ready to eat meals, not covered. Then marine products, cut, fried, frozen, chilled, ready to eat, not covered. Already primary processing list I have told which is covered, and secondary and tertiary which is not covered I have already told you. Then there are certain other like pack house you can cover. Cold room staging up to 1000 metric ton, which is integral part of a processing plant, it is covered. But standalone cold storage is not covered. Ripening chamber, it is covered. Low cost onion storage structure covered. Zero energy cool chambers covered. Coconut, cashew, walnut desaling machine is covered. Then there is another negative list. Combined harvester not covered. Standalone cold storages not covered. Retail shops not covered. Silos as part of integrated project not covered. Warehouse is covered. Project related to processing of fruits and vegetables, soup, flake, powder, paste, etc. not covered. Project related to grain pulses, secondary and tertiary not covered. Leaf dust powder, tea bags not covered. These are the list which is covered and not covered. Now, regarding the eligibility of this scheme, the eligibility is like this. If it is a individual, agripreneur, farmer, businessman, then if they are a normal person, if they are of general category or OBC, then they will get 25% of the subsidy loan cost, 25% as subsidy. If they are from SC, ST, or they are women, or for farmers producer organization, the subsidy limit is 33%. One third you can get as subsidy. Now for this, you can go to ministry website. Detailed guideline is there. Everything is there. Or you can also go on nabad.org website. The guideline is there. In that guideline, all details are there. Which activities they are covered, which activities they are not covered, how to calculate the subsidy, how to plan that what you can get. Every detail is there, available there, and from that you can work out that whether your project will be covered under this scheme or not. So this is the second scheme, and agriculture marketing, agriculture infrastructure fund I have already covered. Then there is the a scheme regarding there are other government schemes. If this agriculture marketing infrastructure which I have told you, if under this scheme a farmers producer organization want to open a common facility center, it is eligible. It is for those FPOs, farmers producer organizations. If they have membership of minimum membership of 50, they can apply for this, and they can get help, agriculture infrastructure fund help also. 3% subsidy interest subvention, up to 2 crores of credit guarantee, and then under this scheme up to 33% of subsidy they can claim. Next scheme is regarding this Mission for Integrated Development for Horticulture, MIDH scheme. There are many components in MIDH, Ministry of Mission for Integrated Development for Horticulture, from polyhouse to different type of horticulture products, and all those schemes. There are different categories of subsidy schemes. You can visit that the nhb.gov.in website, where there is details of what are the schemes running. Please always be careful. First, satisfy yourself that certain scheme is running that year or not, because I am again telling the government of India subsidy schemes, they every year they start it. There are only few schemes, and in exceptional cases that any scheme they declared that it is for 2 years, 3 years, or 4 years. Normally, every year they renew the scheme. So before going to banks or before planning for getting the subsidy, first clarify yourself that that scheme is running that year or not. If that scheme has been implemented, or that scheme has been launched, then you can reach your bank and start the process of getting the project approved and get the subsidy. Then there is also Sampada scheme. And under Sampada scheme, also agripreneurs can get up to 50% in normal region, and in northeast and hilly regions up to 75% subsidy they can get. Maximum limit is 50 crore. Up to 50 crore subsidy they can get under these agriculture. Because the Sampada, what is Sampada? Sampada is a scheme for agriculture, marine processing, and development of agriculture agro processing cluster. Any agri business related to this processing part, they can cover under this Sampada. Then there is a new scheme launched by Government of India, that is called Prime Minister Formalization of Micro Enterprises. Under this scheme, a small food processing projects, micro enterprises projects is covered, and up to 35% of subsidy is being given. If certain person, certain people, certain women, SSGs, or the others are doing certain food processing like pickles, jam, anything, and they want to go as a they want to enlarge their scope and start this agri business or any processing related cheese. This they can use this PMFME scheme, and they can utilize the subsidy scheme, and they can start their unit. Then there is also custom hiring center scheme. So for that, approach your concerned department in your state agriculture department, or if there is an agri engineering department, then also this is Government of India Ministry of Farmers Welfare scheme, in which they are providing subsidy in custom hiring centers. You can approach your concerned department, state departments, and ask regarding the schemes which are they are being implemented, and how much targets they have got, how much allocations they have got, and you can apply from there. Agri business, you have to apply through bank. Agriculture infrastructure fund, you have to apply through banks. Agriculture marketing infrastructure, you have to apply through banks. And another scheme which we recently launched, annual husbandry infrastructure development fund, under which 3 types of processing agri business can be started. First is relating with milk and milk processing. Second is related with feed processing, feed plants, and third is meat processing. So, that has been also launched, and that for that scheme again you have to approach the banks to get the benefit of this scheme. So these are the major schemes: Sampada, you have to approach the concerned department, Government of India. Then regarding this custom hiring center, you have to approach the concerned department of state government. So these are the schemes. Whatever you think, even if you want to start your agri business in solar, because now government is promoting solar as third crop. Under that, the PM Kusum has been launched. Under PM Kusum also, you can there is three part. One is solar pump. Second is solarization of the pump adding into grid, and third is you can establish in your land that generation of electricity using solar energy. Zero point 0.5 to 2 megawatt plant you can set up. Government of India subsidies available, 30% subsidies available. So we can see that there is ample opportunity. There is ample opportunity regarding the agri business, and there are a lot of Government of India schemes which is being implemented. Any field you think, just you have to click. Now this is age of technology, age of information technology. Just go and search or go to Government of India websites. You will get all the scheme details, which are the schemes which is being run. Some are through NABARD, some are through National Horticulture Board, some are through state government, some are through Government of India Ministry itself. So you have to only search which scheme you want and from where you can get the benefits. That you have to decide. And before going for a scheme, my suggestion would be, if first you sit, uh, think and plan what you want to do. What is the backward linkage? What will the forward linkage? How we are going with this? What is the status of raw material? What is the status of marketing? Everything, when we have decided, then go for government schemes. Because government scheme is there, that means not you should decide your scheme on the basis of government subsidy. You should decide just opposite. You decide, I want to do this. This is the opportunity. I want to do this part. And now you try to search from where I can get the government support, and then you will find that the chance of success is much higher, because it has been planned by you. It has come from your thinking, not it is related with government schemes. Because government is giving the support under the scheme to provide the support. You have certain venture, you are going agri business is a venture, you are going in a certain venture, and there is a lot of risk. Government, by providing these schemes, support, subsidy, they are trying to cover a portion of your risk. This is a risk covering. But the productivity, other things, you have to think before getting the subsidy. Therefore, please plan carefully regarding the schemes. There are many more schemes. You have only to search which scheme you want, because already I have covered from when we start from farm gate infrastructure. You have got already a scheme. Then after farm gate, when we go to the primary processing part, there is already a scheme. We see that agriculture infrastructure fund, such a huge scheme of 1 lakh crore has been launched by Government of India, and you have to cover all those the farm gate infrastructures, warehouses, and all the activities list which I have indicated you, which you would cover under this agriculture infrastructure fund up to 2 crore. 2 crore is a huge fund for starting any agri business setup. Then you have got that interest subvention. Then if you do not have any mortgage, then you can also get that credit guarantee scheme. So that credit guarantee is of a great help, because you can start your venture, and if you are starting your venture, you are getting credit guarantee, you are getting interest subvention, then you can set this with agriculture marketing infrastructure MI ISM project, from where you can get subsidy, and you can add this, then your risk will be very low. And what farmer or everybody will be getting benefit, there will be infrastructure, huge infrastructure, agriculture infrastructure set up at farm gate, at rural areas, that will help the farmers and producers, because they will have place where they can keep their goods, where they can store the goods, or where they can process their goods, and everybody will be in a win-win situation. So think about this, all those schemes, agriculture infrastructure, then that agriculture marketing infrastructure, agri clinic, agri business, because it is a unique scheme. It is where you can whatever plan you are thinking, if you have any innovative idea, this is an open-ended scheme. You can just, regarding agriculture and rural development, any innovative agri-business proposal you have, you can approach bank, and if you are able to get finance, then subsidy you will get. I don't think there is so many projects other than agri clinic, agri business, where you get open ended. Means you can plan and try any new projects. So that is a very good opportunity which government is providing to the agripreneurs for agri business, and that will support everybody from farmers to the agripreneurs to government itself. So these all the are the different schemes, and there are certain intricacies, like if we go to agriculture infrastructure fund, who are the agency you can approach, all the banks, financial institution you can approach for the scheme. Then there are also one thing I have cleared, that you can also apply for subsidy and you will get the subsidy. Then there are other things like when you are going for this scheme, what will be the requirement, uh, credit guarantee eligibility. It will depend that your proposal is viable or not, because bank and you have to work out the viability of project, because bank will finance after seeing the viability of project, because as you know, bank has public money which they will give you as loan, so they will see the viability. If the project is viable, they will give the scheme. And already, for if you are trying to get support from agriculture infrastructure fund, government of India has already launched website for agriculture infrastructure fund. You can directly apply on the website, and you can also write the details, and there you can indicate the branches from where you want to get the loan from the scheme. All those portions are well spelled. You can go to the Government of India Ministry of Farmers Welfare website. You will get all the details and also the links and other websites you can get from there. Ministry of Food Processing, you can get the details of food processing. Nabad.org, you can get the details. Everything you want to have regarding this information, regarding these schemes, you will get. These are the all the informations which you want to use and which you may use for your projects. uh, I think anybody, if they want to have a question, they can ask question.
Hello, sir. My name is Ronak. Thank you for the wonderful presentation. I just wanted to ask one thing. So, when the first scheme that you were telling about, you told something about the lines of training for 2 months with a registered institute like RVS KVV. So,
Yes.
what specific field would that be training mandatory for? As in the field that I'm trying to set up my agri business in, or as in general training like this one? Can this be also considered as part of those 2 months, mandatory 2 months, which I would be required for applying finances from banks and NABARD?
Actually, very good question. It is this 2 month mandatory training. It is general type. It is regarding how you will run the business, how you will sensitize the farmers, how you will deal with the customers, like this thing. General type of things related with agri clinic, agri business, that will be covered in this 2 month. And the certificate is compulsory. 2 month training certificate is compulsory if you are approaching the bank for agri clinic, agri business loan. That is compulsory, and it is general type. It is not a specialized, it is general. You can when you will go on the website agriclinics.net, you will get the details of the 2 month training, that what are the points they will be going to cover. Normally they will cover extension services, how to give the extension services, licensing portion, marketing portion, agri business portion, agri clinics portion, like that. Because it is just like you have idea, and all those softer skills that will be added to you, and that will help in running your agri business successfully, and also providing the farmers the sensitizations they require. Thank you, Ronaji.
Sir, I have another question. If
Yeah.
you'll allow. Sir, when you were telling about 4 or 5 friends coming up together to form agribusiness, and one of them should be MBA. So,
Yes.
is it like a mandatory situation that one of them should be an agriculture graduate as well, as in non-agriculture graduates cannot form a agribusiness?
Actually, that scheme, Agri Clinic Agri Business, is only for those qualification I have told, because that is a specialized scheme, in which normally for individual it is mandatory. They should have got those qualification, agriculture or inter agriculture or diploma agriculture like that, or 60% subject in agriculture. In company, it is compulsory that out of 5, 4 will be agriculture. One should be MBA, because for running a company, an MBA is required. Therefore, it is compulsory that out of 5, 1 member should be MBA and 4 agriculture. It is compulsory.
Thank you, sir. Thank you, sir.
Thank you.
Hello, sir. One question is there.
Yeah.
Hello.
Ravindra ji.
Yeah, I'm from Ranchi, sir.
Yeah, Ravindra ji.
Yeah, I'm from Ranchi, Jharkhand. I want to know that regarding financial support to the farmers.
Yes.
Want to do some small scale livestock farming.
Yes.
Actually, for getting subsidy from NABARD,
Yes.
they have to go through the bank.
Yeah.
But the problem is, bankers are not so much supporting, and they do not want to finance even 2 lakh, 3 lakh, 4 lakh. So, in this, to give the financial support, how they approach to NABARD so that they can get the support easily to the poor farmers.
Thank you, Ravindra, for this question. Actually, regarding farmers, there will be state government schemes. There are government of India schemes. Most of the schemes I have told, other than Agri Clinic, Agri Business, other schemes farmers can take benefit. And one another other scheme is National Livestock Mission, that they can take benefit of. Regarding bank finance, first of all, bank finance, there should be relation between the farmer and the banker. Normally, if the farmer has account with bank, normally the farmer have a KCC with the bank, because KCC is the easiest loan which a farmer get from a bank. Now that is the first step in building the trust and relationship with the farmer and banker. Now, if during this relationship, during this KCC, they have built a very good trust, then there is no problem in getting loan, because I have seen all over places where they have got KCC, and they are a very good customer, they are very good borrower banker relationship. Then banker themselves are approaching the farmers, because the bankers, it is the bankers, they have also to loan. Bankers also have to loan, and they also have to loan in agriculture, because practice sector guideline, 18% they have to loan in agriculture, 40% they have to do practice sector. They also want to loan. Now there is a communication gap type of thing between the farmer and the bank. KCC, their saving account, their relationship, that can cover, remove that communication gap and bring them on the table to get the loan. Another thing is, like, I have seen many places that, like, milk, there are many milk producers, they are selling milk, but what they are doing, everything they are doing in cash. Instead of that, if they are started doing the transaction in the bank saving account, the transaction will be shown every month, so much amount of milk is being sold, and when the farmer will approach for the loan, bank already have a record. No, this is a very good milk producer, and we can sanction him project of dairy. And the basic thing nobody is understanding. Basic thing is, we have to have a relationship between bank and the farmer. Now, if the transaction is being done in the bank will automatically see. They do not need anything else. They will see the transaction is going on, and they are selling milk, and then loan is very easy. Second process, this. Third process, there are bankers who come forward to help the farmers, or there are farmers who approach the bankers and somehow our role, NABARD's role, your role or others' role is to create a good relationship between the farmer and banker so that loan could be sanctioned and all the government of India, because like KCC, it has been decided that all farmers should get KCC. And you have been seeing that large number of farmers are getting KCC and almost all 100% farmers have to be covered under this scheme. Similarly, after their good relationship, they can go for the term loan and other loans. There are district level committees. Every district have a committee where if there is any such problem, it is being discussed at that level, where bankers, departments, all are part of that. There it is being discussed, and if any problem is there, they are trying to solve the problem.
Sir, actually, what is the problem is here? Actually, some banks, they are financing 4 lakhs, 5 lakhs after getting the project report. But even after that, even after bank is financing 4 lakhs or 5 lakhs, but they do not get the benefit of this NABARD. Because their NABARD is getting subsidy 33%, 34% like this. But bankers they are not applying to the NABARD for the getting this benefit to the farmers. So they hesitate, and ultimately the farmers become sufferers. And second thing is regarding you are having very good scheme, and because the subsidy is there. And farmers are very interested. We are also telling to farmers you can get subsidy from NABARD. But how can they approach? Can they approach to the NABARD office directly, and this NABARD officer, how can they help to the farmers? Because they hesitate to go bank. Bank manager are also not supporting, and the NABARD is telling that I can't support you directly. So in this process, NABARD is having very good scheme. But farmers are not getting benefited. And I am talking from the Jharkhand. Here, most of the farmers are tribal and their literacy is also low, but they are very hard workers. They want to do. They are getting training from our Birsa Agricultural University, Ranchi. But they are not getting the financial support because the Jharkhand government is also no. But the schemes are there, very less amount of the money they are providing with different schemes. But by that schemes also farmers are not getting benefit. But if the NABARD is supporting directly to the farmers, or if the channels become easier, so your schemes become very successful and farmers will be benefited.
Actually, regarding your concern,
Yes, sir.
the system of claiming subsidy is clear. If bank is sanctioning, you are telling bank is sanctioning but are not claiming, because there is system ki after branch sanction the loan, they have to send the information to the regional office, and every regional office in most of the schemes they have got the ID password, except 1-2 schemes where there is still manual claim they are sending. Otherwise, most of them they have to claim on website. So they send the information, and in the regional office they have only to submit the information on the website. It is easiest, because if farmer has to direct deal with NABARD, you can think they have to every case they have to go to NABARD, and like that the problem will be huge. Because here is easy. If bank is giving loan, now there is only portion there here that bank should claim, and that portion, that communication gap is to be straightened, nothing else. Because if the bank is sanctioning loan, then they have to claim, and before sanctioning loan they should know that that scheme is running or not, because every year certain schemes are being run or certain schemes are being closed for the year. That they have to know, because if the scheme is not running, then they will not get the subsidy. That communication, it is only communication gap, nothing else. Because if the bank is sanctioning loan and scheme is running, it is very easy. There are certain timeline they have to follow and put the data on website, nothing else.
Sir, good afternoon. Sir, I am Vijay Kumar Pallel from Karnataka.
Yes.
Sir, very good information, sir. You have given, thank you. Sir, for training, is that 2 months training attested to single training is required, or they can have 2-3 trainings clubbed together to make 2 months?
No, no, no. It is 2 month training already designed by Government of India.
Okay.
And already the institutions approved by Government of India. Its name is there. They will take care. If only you have to contact the institution. It is on the list is on agriclinics.net. You have to contact the institution and they will do the remaining 2 month training. Everything they will do. Only you have to contact and tell that I am eligible for the agri-clinic, agri-business project. This is the criteria I am fulfilling. I want training. Rest they will do.
I think marriage is there, sir, in that Hyderabad.
Yes, sir.
It is near to us. We can send our students.
You can see the list in the agriclinics.net. What are the centers near you?
Okay, sir. Thank you, sir. Thank you.
Any other question? Any other question? Participants, you can ask the expert here. So I think there are no more questions. We should conclude this session here.
Madam.
Thank you very much for this session. It was really very informative session. I hope everyone has benefited this. Thanks once again on behalf of NADCL and the organizing team. Thanks on behalf of Al Naja and all of us. Thank you, sir. We can leave the meeting now.